And this next scene with Dastardly talking to Muttley and him thinking that Muttley's behind him when it's actually a bear. And that was just something that I came up with, old-fashioned cliche. Like someone talking to someone thinking that they're behind them when they're actually in front of them. And it's like, how did he not notice? How did he not notice that Muttley was in front of him? But, never mind. And this was a Lego bear that I had with one of my old Lego Adventures sets. Yeah, I just decided to use Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog music for this chase scene, which Turbo J UK provided. Thanks, man. And this joke here was obviously based off of Family Guy, when Moses Griffin was going through the commandments, and I just decided to change them into rules of their travels. And instead of saying Jolly Ranchers, I just replaced it with Starbucks, because a lot of people like Starbucks. And these billboards, I just found some of these pictures off of Google Image and just decided to use them for the billboard scene. I just thought it would be a laugh if I did that, yeah. And with this montage, I decided to use music from Danger X3 The Criminal Projective. I was sort of running out of ideas for music and just randomly thought of using the Danger-esque music. Just really liked that music from Danger-esque 3 The Criminal Projective and decided to use that. And this bit with the guys meeting YouTube celebrities, including myself, was just random. And so was this Dastardly meeting Sidious and Vader. And that was just a Sycorax, as you obviously know, and decided to give Marvin the Martian a cameo. Yeah, just decided to give him a cameo. And that bit that just showed was just one of those cliches that happens occasionally, like enemies mingling with each other and then realising at the last minute that they're supposed to be against each other. Just thought that'd be funny at the time. And some of you may know that this "oh, there's a big bear" thing was from the Tintin movie Prisoners of the Sun. I remembered watching that as a kid, and that was one of my favourite Captain Haddock lines. That was one of my favourite lines he used, and I really wanted to use that for this scene. And with New Controller 01's voice, he asked me if he could take part of it while I was finishing the script. And I said yes, and decided to let him voice himself wearing a bear costume. And I thank you for guest starring, mate. Thanks very much. Yeah. And this bit is just something random I thought of, like Sek making a slight exaggeration of how the crocodile thing happened. Like saying that he did something besides running away from the crocodile as soon as they got to the crocodile. Just showing off his boasting side, yeah. Just making him a little bit like Toad from Cosgrove Hall's Wind in the Willows, sort of, yeah. And this bit with the statue revealing himself, I just decided to use Lego Mummy from the old Lego Avengers set, because a mummy suited the door here that I used, yeah. And this joke is obviously from Robot Chicken, where they take the piss out of George Bush, of course, by making him have a lightsaber duel with Abraham Lincoln. I just loved that and just decided to use that line for this. And the statue's voice was done by a user who was in a removed YouTube video called Tug's Christmas Carol, I think, when he played the White Fleet Tugs. And his voice and the way he makes it echo is just brilliant. I love his voice. Thank you very much for accepting the role, man. Thanks. And as you may have guessed, this riddle thing was from the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, except with Mandy and a Gollum rip-off, it was with Sek and a statue. Yeah. Yeah. That I just randomly came up with that. Just randomly decided to put that joke into this scene. Yeah. And his line when he says that no one appreciates challenging riddles anymore was based off of the line from House of Mouse when the Magic Mirror was saying that no one appreciates dramatic verses anymore. Just decided to use something like that for that scene. And a question that may be popping up is like, how did Dastardly get there so soon if he had no vehicle? How did he get there so soon? Did he have some kind of jetpack or something? Or maybe he had skates or whatever? I don't know. And this bit with the dark corridor, in the back I just used a canvas and shone a torch through it while they were enclosed between a bunch of video cassettes. Yeah. And the Wookiee Hall joke was based off of Moab, Train Lover 476 and Train Boy 7's Troublesome Engines saga. Like when he had the workmen in the tunnel. I just wanted to do a bit of a reference to that. And I remembered watching that and loving it. I think those three are like YouTube's Three Stooges. You guys are brilliant. You're hilarious. You're too hilarious for me to stop watching, man. Yeah, you're too hilarious. And this bit when they finally get to the temple is just a kind of unimaginative besides the Lego skeletons and the settings. Those are the only things there. It's not too imaginative. And again, this joke with "They'll Steal My Soul" thing was from Billy and Mandy. You know, from the scene when Billy needed his eyes tested and they were forcing him to go to the opticians and him thinking that the optician would be evil. And just really wanted to show off a lot more of Slevine's stupidity here. Yeah, I just love showing off his stupidity. But who wouldn't in my shoes, really? And this scene with Dastardly is the ultimate climax of the special, if you will. Sorry, I was a bit thirsty. And Dastardly, I wanted to show that Dastardly and Sec had a rivalry ever since before their videos first premiered. Just wanted to show their rivalry. And this scene, this line was based off of a comic relief short I watched a few years ago called Spider Plant Man with Rowan Atkinson and Jim Broadbent, when they were saying about a fight that cost half the budget of the film. I just wanted to include that line because I loved it. And yeah, Dastardly just saying my dicky balls. Just thinking of his name, Dastardly. And the line he says when he says, "Don't just do something, stand there," that was really based off of the Smurfs with one of the lines Gargamel had. I loved it. And very quick punch that, wasn't it? Yeah, normally we'd say that that's animal abuse, but hell with it, we don't care. Being nice to dogs is so old school. And this was the big reveal. With the reveal, I wanted to have something really funny. And I thought that Dot Warner being the babe was the funniest thing I could think of. Like, Sec hoping it would be someone really, really attractive. And it turns out to be the puppy girl. And when they run away from her, it was just Benny Hill music that a lot of people used for their runaway scenes. I just thought it'd be funny to include that. And here's the repaired van, which was repaired by New Controller 01, the bear. Yeah. Yeah, with the this YouTuber as a bear thing, I kind of took that from Family Guy when they made the horse sound like Gilbert Godfrey, the parrot from Aladdin, if you will. Yeah, I just wanted to do something like that for this bit. I just thought it'd be really funny.